Good morning. Welcome to week 2 of the Pantry Challenge. If you saw last week's video for week 1, then you probably already have an idea of what I'm doing here, but I'm going to meal plan out of my pantry for the work week ahead. My goal with this Pantry Challenge is to use up all of the holiday food that we have left over, and also to use up a lot of the stuff that we have had sitting in our pantry for quite some time and just kind of get it all out. My sister's actually coming over today, so I have about 6 hours to get 5 days worth of meals done for my husband and I. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's about 30 meals total that we're gonna get done today. I have my coffee, I have my reference list popped up of what we're making. So let's get started with breakfast. I'm going to do a peach oatmeal bake. Jar of home canned peaches. Some quick rolled oats that we've had in the pantry for quite some time now. Some eggs, of which I have 2 left. I thought I had a little more left in here, but that is all the eggs total that I have left for today, like for the Pantry Challenge. So that is one thing I'm going to have to supplement through this Pantry Challenge, which I kind of figured would happen. We don't have chickens and I don't keep 2 months worth of eggs on hand, even though if you'll notice by my chicken egg rack over there, if you've seen that, I have plans for chickens. That's not gonna happen until a little later down the road. So for now, we're just gonna have to pick up eggs when we need them. There's a lot of the stuff that we cook has eggs, and I don't think it's reasonable at this point in my life to expect that I can go 2 months without going to the store for eggs. So maybe in the future, but for now I'm gonna give myself grace and I'm going to see if my husband can pick up some more eggs at the store because he is out and about right now. Cinnamon, vanilla extract, and we need some half and half. I forgot the brown sugar. Our freeze-dried powdered egg.
If you're interested in knowing the amounts that I used for this recipe, I will have it listed in the description below. This recipe made about 6 breakfasts for us, so about 3 days worth for my husband and I. And for the other 2 days of the work week, we're just going to be eating up some protein bars that we have in the pantry.
I am going to stick it in the oven. Same thing that I did last week with my breakfast casserole, 350 top shelf until it looks done. I made a big salad last week with our lunch salads too for us to eat this weekend, but I don't really know if my husband is going to want to eat any salad for dinner tonight or tomorrow, so let's see how it looks. If it still looks pretty good, then I will go ahead and... Someone is firing off a gun. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, if the salad that I made from last week still looks good, I'll just go ahead and package that up for this week. Yeah. Besides the croutons being soggy, this one looks perfectly fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and divvy this up into 2 containers. I'm gonna compost these. I usually like cooking stuff from scratch on the weekend anyway, so I don't know why I thought a salad would be a good idea for the weekend. I have the time to cook, so I do.
We had some leftovers from when we went out with our family friends last week, and my husband ended up eating that as one of his lunches. So I have an extra salad for him to eat that's already prepared in the fridge for this week as well.
While we were at the store had to have been over a year ago, my husband saw this chef's cupboard chunky chicken and sausage gumbo and bought a few cans of it. And then the next trip he saw it again, forgot he already had some, bought a few more cans of it. So now we have all of this gumbo and he has not eaten any of it. So I kind of had talked to him this week and I was like, hey, if I put it on the board to eat this gumbo, will you eat it? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he is getting gumbo for one of his meals, and I have some frozen cornbread pre-made in the freezer that he can have with that. He also bought this pho noodle bowl kit, and he has not eaten it yet. So I'm gonna add that on the list for him to finish off this week. And we are both guilty of buying some of these pre-packaged ramen noodles. These ones are sriracha. I haven't had ramen in so long that we saw it at the store and we were like, oh, that could be good. And got a bunch of them. So I think I will actually have one of these this week as well. Oh, that's our timer for the oatmeal. Oh yeah. That is done and it is beautiful. That is perfect.
It wasn't perfect. I had to put it back in 10 minutes later when I realized it was not fully cooked in the middle.
And I'm going to get started on the second to last lunch, which is pigs in a blanket.
I decided to make pigs in a blanket because we had all the supplies left over from New Year's Day and I didn't want it to go to waste. And it turns out that we had the perfect amount left over to make 4 each for us.
Holy crap, he bought like a pack of 60 eggs. Jeez, Pete. Well, we might make it through the challenge with those then. Did you buy 60 eggs?
Yes. It's okay if I put them on the table.
Yeah, just move that lid and stick them right there and I'll put them in the fridge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Best by February 9th.
We'll leave them by then.
You think?
We eat a lot of eggs.
We do eat a lot of eggs. That's why we need to get chickens.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get started on some marinated chicken.
The marinade that I'm doing for this week's chicken is a bit more complicated than last week's, and I actually cut this recipe in fourths. So I cut it down by 4 times the amount because the recipe was for a whole batch and we just needed it for 1 chicken breast. Now, I've never tried this recipe before now, but it smelled great when we were cooking it, and we ended up eating this Thursday night, and it was delicious.
Our pigs in a blanket are done, and they are beautiful. Okay, our last lunch for this week is going to be some fried tofu. I'm going to go ahead and get my pan warmed up and get that frying, and I'll have some raw broccoli and celery with that from my veggie tray.
Here I'm just adding some Better Than Bouillon garlic base, and then to that I added some bell peppers. To my fried peppers, I'm adding some stir-fried tofu that I prepared and froze about a month ago. I know there are probably quite a few people who don't necessarily like tofu, but I like it, and I find that if you use the right ingredients and prepare it the proper way, it tastes really good, and I like that it adds some variety to my diet. The best way that I've found to prepare it over the years is to marinate it in whatever spices you decide on in the fridge for up to 3 to 4 days to really let that flavor soak in.
Now that the moisture is mostly gone from this, I am actually going to add a little bit of the juice from my pickled banana peppers, because not only will it give this dish a little bit of heat and flavor, but the vinegar in this is also going to help deglaze the pan a little bit. Okay, I'm going to call that done. I'm going to take it off the heat and let it cool for a minute before we get it all packaged up. Okay, now we are ready to get started on dinners. We have, let's see, one dinner is already made, which is cauliflower wraps. That is a meal kit that I already pre-made that is in the freezer. We are gonna do marinated chicken and scalloped potatoes, Parmesan crusted chicken and jambalaya, burrito bowl, pizza night. So I will go ahead and get started on a pizza sauce for pizza night.
Pizza sauce is something I've actually been meaning to make in bulk and can and have on the pantry shelves. That way it's a little bit more convenient for us for pizza night and we have a nice, delicious homemade sauce.
Okay, while our pizza sauce is cooking down, I have got some rice started in the rice cooker because we're going to make some cilantro lime rice for our burrito bowls. And I also have some home canned black beans, and I'm going to mix up some Mexican seasoning into those.
To this dish, I layered rice, black beans, some bell peppers that I fried up from the freezer, some home canned turkey, and that way, when we go to eat it, all we have to do is heat it up and add our toppings like lettuce, cheese, sour cream, hot sauce, and jalapeno. Now I'm just frying up that chicken that we marinated earlier.
Okay, we are going to pull double duty now, and while the chicken is cooking, the peppers are cooking, and the rice is cooking, we are going to get started on some sides to go with our dinners. I have some boxed scalloped potatoes that have been sitting in the pantry for a while that we just need to use up. And I also have some of this New Orleans style jambalaya mix that has been in the pantry for a long time that needs to be cooked up. You know, this jambalaya mix is mostly rice, and the instructions for cooking are exactly like you would cook rice on the stovetop. So I think I'm going to wait until our rice cooker is done with our white rice and just stick this jambalaya mix in the rice cooker. Our chicken is done now. Doesn't that look delicious? I'm going to let this cool for a little bit, and then we'll cut it up into bite-sized pieces for dinner.
These scalloped potatoes were really easy to throw together. All it called for was hot water, butter, and some milk. Everything else came in the box.
We are almost done, and I have about 2 hours left before my sister gets here. So all we have left to do is we have a Parmesan crusted chicken that I need to get done, and I have the thawed out chicken over there for that. And then we're going to do some pizza crusts. This Parmesan crusted chicken is technically a HelloFresh recipe, but I do a little bit something different with the spices on it. So I will link the recipe below because it's a delicious recipe, but I will also tell you what I change about it that I think makes it a little bit better.
So this recipe is for a Parmesan cheese and panko crusted chicken breast. And in the original recipe, they call for fry seasoning, but I'm not sure what their mixture of fry seasoning is. So one night I decided to substitute it for curry powder, and it was phenomenal. We have also tried it on tilapia, and it was really good that way too.
Okay, so as soon as our scalloped potatoes are done, which only have a couple of minutes left, we're going to pop this in for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then, let me double check, I think besides the pizza crust, we are done. Oh, Alexa, stop. That is beautifully cheesy and bubbly. And perfectly browned at the top. All right, let's get this in the oven. I'm gonna let this bloom for 5 minutes, the yeast, and then we'll add in our flour and get mixing and go. I actually can't find my dough hook to my stand mixer, so I will use the paddle, and then once it gets to the point that I can't use the paddle anymore, I'll just get it out and knead it by hand. While this blooms, I'm gonna go ahead and get my whiteboard out and write down all the list of things that we're having this week so that we have somewhere to reference everything that needs to be eaten. Okay, this is what the list is looking like for this week. We have our burrito bowl, marinated chicken with scalloped potatoes, Parmesan chicken and jambalaya, cauliflower wraps, pizza night on Friday, and then for our lunches, they look a little bit different. We each have a salad. Dawson has a second salad because he didn't eat his from last week. He's got canned gumbo and cornbread, pigs in a blanket. We both have pigs in a blanket. And his pho noodles. I'm going to eat out Wednesday at work. And I'm also going to have ramen and tofu and broccoli for my lunch this week.
You know, I have to say that I am really glad that I decided to participate in this year because it has given me the push that I needed to use those things that I keep seeing in the pantry and telling myself, oh, we need to use that up soon, but never quite making the time to do so. And because I have gotten a lot of this stuff out of my pantry, it has motivated me to want to fill it up with more healthy and from scratch options in the future. My husband is also really appreciating it right now too, because usually the way the things work in our household is I will make a meal kit and kind of put all of the ingredients together and put it in the freezer. That way, when he takes it out, everything is there, the recipe, all of the ingredients, the exact stuff that he needs, and he'll cook it because he works from home and he doesn't have the drive to and from work. So he has a little more time than I do to be able to cook something for dinner. But he has said just having already pre-cooked things ready to go, just heated up, has made things a lot easier for him, and that he really appreciates it. So this might be something that I continue to do every week.
I am actually going to split this in half and get it bagged up to put it in the freezer. And then the morning of pizza night, we will take it out and put it in the fridge. We are officially done with this week's meals for the Pantry Challenge. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and maybe have a look at some of the other things I have posted. And stick around for week 3 of the Pantry Challenge next week. Thanks. Bye.